Hello there! It's actually good to see you again. And I've been recording multiple times and multiple takes. No kidding. My phone has a bunch of videos of me talking about this episode, and I was almost there. But do you know what? I think this could possibly be it. Finally, I can actually talk about this, and yeah. Anyways, welcome to episode 3, Once Upon a Time. Well, Once Upon Time. It's not about that ABC show. No, we're talking about Doctor Who Flux. Anyways, in this episode, I will at least explain some details from it, because a lot of it is so hard for me to really explain. You have to watch the episode yourself before actually coming to see this review. So, yeah, anyways. For the starters of this episode, we get to learn about this character named Belle. Belle has been one of the survivors of the Flux, or one of many survivors of the Flux. And we get to see these new blue little sparkly things who are consuming people, or at least sending people back in time. Of course, we don't know what they are, but later on in the episode, we'll find out what they are, or at least what they are made for. I know I'm not making sense, but at the same time, I'm trying to at least get the picture of what's going on. But anyways, back with the place that the Doctor and Yaz and the others were, the Doctor was facing a little situation. The Ravages, now I finally know the Crystal People's like identities and stuff. The Ravages were trying to kill off Yaz and stuff. And the other thing is, the Doctor didn't want that shit to happen. So basically, the Doctor grabbed Dan, and then the Doctor used her sonic screwdriver, and whoopie-doo, all of them went into the Maury's time stream. And it turns out, all of them went into their own timelines. For the Doctor's timeline, we get a lot of interesting lore and a bunch of backstory for her, and we get a new coat for Jodie, or from Jodie, because the thing is, the coat is an inverted like colorish from her normal coat, and many people have been speculating this could be like an evil representation of the Doctor, which I remember so many people are talking about it, and it was so funny. But later on in the episode for the Doctor's backstory, or flashback, we learned that Jodie was representing Joe Martin's Doctor. And Joe Martin was in this episode, which, praise Ruth's Doctor, she made an epic comeback. I was so happy to see Joe Martin back on Doctor Who, and it was so, like, the best thing ever. I wish she, like, kept going. Well, in one of the videos on the Doctor Who YouTube channel, she said she's not going anywhere at this point. She is still gonna maybe be in, like, future Doctor Who or something. I don't know, but I'm excited. But in the episode itself, we learned that Jodie was taking over one of her previous memories that were from Ruth's past, and trying to at least relive what was going on. And funny thing is, all these people were different people, but not the way that the Doctor see it. And later on in this episode, I will explain this. There are some people who are different from the people that they remembered before. It's like a little flashback thing, but with different faces. And I will admit, this was very confusing, yet so interesting. Replacing the person who was originally there with the person who was within that memory. That's going to be happening a lot in this episode. The other thing is, the Doctor remembers Castanova being with them, which honestly brings a new question. Did Joe Martin's Doctor dealt with Castanova before? Probably yes, because the thing is, we learned a lot about the division and the whole backstory back in Series 12 about how the division was and how it was made, or at least formed. And a lot of things were being thrown out into the scene of things. And yeah, we get to learn about more what the Ravages are, and we get to learn about more of the Maury. And later off, the Doctor wanted to find out more about her past, which I will admit, I was surprised that they decided to go back to actually telling about more about the Ruth Doctor. The Ruth Doctor deserves more attention for this. Anyways, enough of that. The Ruth Doctor's flashbacks end, and yeah, a lot of things were going on. Now we're gonna go to Dan's backstory. Dan was doing like other things within this flashback, and going on a date with Diane, or at least the girl from the museum, of course. But they were doing it so fast, Dan doesn't know if it was real or so. And the funniest thing is, those little blue sparks were there again. To remind you, those little blue sparks are very important reminders in the end of this episode. Later on, Dan realized this was all happened before. And Diane was saying a lot of things that Dan got a little hurt by, and we got to see one of the Moris in the point of view of things. Then later on, Dan was going back into different time streams, to his own time streams, to another place, then to his time stream, and yeah. Let's just say we encounter Joseph Williamson, Joseph Williamson again in this episode, because he was part of one of Dan's timelines, I think, which, oddly enough, A, how the hell did he get in there, and B, how does Joseph Williamson relates to Dan? Because I'm still confused. Why is Joseph Williamson involved with this thing? And why Dan and Joseph are in the mine? I think that'll be maybe later on explained in like the final episodes or so. But yeah, Dan and Joseph were talking, and those little blue sparks went and came back again, which they're still very important. Keeping a reminder, they're very important. Then later on, Dan was back to his place, and yeah. We haven't gotten to much more of what was going on with Dan's timeline, so it was bits and parts. But then, yeah, with Yaz's timeline, we get to learn about some past moments from Series 12 to now, of course. And let's just say the Doctor was there, and it was so funny enough. Things were being affected. A lot of memories were being rewritten. And let's just say a lot of unnatural things were happening. There was a weeping angel on some of the memories of Yaz's, of course, and yeah, it was totally bonkers, very crazy. Which, how the fuck can a weeping angel go within a Mori, do time and space within someone's memory that was from the past and rewriting it? It was actually terrifying that this was all within a time stream within the past, within the mind of Yaz and the Doctor and Vinder and Dan. Like, this was dangerous, very dangerous. Also, the other thing is, the Weeping Angel was trying to get Yaz and all. Like, in the first time that we got into the Mori, the Doctor saw the Weeping Angel. She was questioning it a lot. I was questioning it. A lot of things were going on, and yeah. But the other extra thing is, why were they there? Was there a reason? But you know what? That'll be explained in the next episode, I guess. But yeah. Later on, with Yaz's thing, we get to know that she was like doing her own things, being a policeman, playing video games with her family, and trying to at least acknowledge what was going on. Then the most saddest thing is we get to learn about Valadar's story, or Vinder's story. Vinder's story was so like tragic because he was part of like this recruiting army thingy, and so much things were happening. I try to understand what was going on, but it looked like Vinder was having a tough time and try to actually like, you know, blend in with the people. But at the same time, it was complicated. He has gone through a lot, and for his memory, it was very tragic. And the only thing is, he had a lot of what was going on. But yeah. But the thing is, we learned about one of the people in Vinder's memory, General Grand Serpent, or I think one of the generals. One of the generals, of course, were being a little suspicious and wanted to make some bad choices and stuff, which I was thinking something bad was gonna happen, but yeah. And it was so crazy enough that, yeah, he decided to leave that place and actually explore the universe and stuff, leaving his love interest, Belle. yes, we're back to Belle again because Belle is the very important thing that is the reason why they started the opening with her. Later on within the story, Belle was doing her own thing, facing Cybermen, having her own emotions, trying to find Vinder and all of that. And yeah, but later on in the last minutes or so, or at least the last couple of minutes in this episode, we learned that there was this lady who was controlling a whatever time period. It's hard for me to explain because we only barely know who this lady is, and people have been theorizing a lot of this could be the Omega or something. I'm still confused. We don't know who this is, and it's just like she controls something a part of time, and she was being very salty with the Doctor and saying that the Doctor was the reason why the Flux happened, which blows my mind. How the Doctor caused the Flux, I don't know. But at the same time, she can't be the reason that the Flux had happened. But at the same time, there's no like real answer until like all these episodes have been aired. But anyways, back to where we were. The Doctor, Yaz, and everyone waked up. The Ravages went away. Still has Dan's love interest or whatever, and yeah, a lot of things were going on at the end, and yeah, a lot of sad things. But when we get to the Weeping Angel taking over the TARDIS, that's another thing that I was questioning, of course. How the hell can a Weeping Angel control a freaking Type 40? Like, bro, that shit was wild. Like, that was screaming, hello, I'm in danger. Someone took it over the TARDIS. Oh, wait, it's a Weeping Angel. Anyways, yeah, this episode was so confusing. And for me to explain it, it has more than it really has. It's just so much. I want you all to watch the episode to actually see and understand what was going on. Because me explaining about this was so complicated. Anyways, what do I think about the episode? Well, for me, personally, I think it's great. I think it was so much information that I couldn't handle. I loved it. I loved it a lot. And, yeah. And the other thing is, we get to see a lot of good places and a lot of new faces. And, yeah, and so much development for the Rouge Doctor. I want Joe Martin more in Doctor Who, okay? Anyways, I hope you all enjoy this video. Anyways, I'll probably edit this for a bit, and yeah, I hope you all have a good day, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. And always remember, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, Geronimo.